Ancient strategy, modern sales, one usable line per episode.
Last time, clarity lowers resistance. Today, the danger of premature proposals. And why the fastest way to lose a deal is to offer too soon. Here's a pattern I keep falling into. Great discovery call. Prospect is engaged. They're nodding, asking questions, leaning in. So I think, they're ready. I send the proposal that evening.
And then?
Silence. Days go by. When they finally respond, objections I didn't expect. Budget concerns. Timeline issues. More stakeholders needed. By the end of this episode, you'll know why early proposals kill momentum, and how to time them so the deal closes itself. My old belief, speed wins. If someone seems interested, strike while the iron is hot. Get the proposal in front of them before they cool off. Before a competitor gets there first.
Sounds reasonable.
It felt reasonable, but the results told a different story. The faster I proposed, the more objections appeared. Not because my offer was wrong, but because something else was wrong.
The timing.
The timing?
A proposal is an invitation to decide. When you send it too early, you're asking someone to commit before they've finished understanding. The brain resists, not the offer, the pressure to choose before feeling safe. Sun Tzu warned about exactly this. Gong Sheng Ji Fa, Wei Bu De Yi, the method of attacking a fortified city, only as a last resort.
What does a siege have to do with proposals?
Everything. Sun Tzu described generals who couldn't control their impatience. They sent soldiers to scale the walls before conditions were set. Jiang Bu Sheng Qi Fen Yi Fu Ji, the general, unable to contain his frustration, sends his men swarming up like ants. A third of the army killed. The city still standing. Hold that image, we'll come back to it.
So the soldiers had ladders. They had weapons. The city was right there. But the assault failed because it came too early.
The tools were ready. The conditions were not. That's the difference between having a proposal and having the right moment for one.
And in sales?
Your proposal is the ladder. Your prospects' walls are their doubts, their politics, their unspoken concerns. Send a proposal before those walls are mapped. You're sending soldiers up blind. The proposal gets destroyed, not because it was bad, because the timing was wrong.
So what Sun Tzu is really saying, don't siege until you've done the groundwork.
Precisely. The best generals created conditions where the city opened its gates. Same in sales. The best proposals arrive when saying yes feels obvious.
That's a completely different mindset. I always thought my job was to push the proposal, not to prepare the ground for it.
Push the proposal, you fight resistance. Prepare the ground, the proposal lands on open terrain. Let's look at what premature proposals actually cost you.
So what happens when a proposal arrives too early?
3 things, and each one compounds. First, you anchor on price before value is established. The moment a number appears on paper, it becomes the focal point. If value isn't clear yet, that number looks too high. Always. You've turned a strategic conversation into a price war.
Second,
you expose your full position before understanding theirs. Scope, timeline, pricing, terms, all at once. Before you know their real constraints or decision process. You've shown every card, they haven't shown one.
And third,
you create decision pressure before trust is built. Proposals demand action. Review this. Sign this. When trust is still forming, that pressure feels like an ambush. The prospect retreats. That's why they ghost. You've put them in a position they're not ready for.
So the pattern is, I get excited. I send the proposal. The prospect sees a number without full context. They feel pressured to decide before they're ready. They retreat. I chase. The deal dies slowly.
And you blame the prospect for going cold.
When I'm the one who forced the timeline.
So how do you know when the ground is ready?
That's exactly what I need.
3 checkpoints. Before any proposal leaves your hands, test these 3 conditions. Checkpoint 1. Can the prospect articulate the problem without your help? If they still need you to explain why they need this, they're not ready. When they can describe their own pain clearly, your proposal confirms what they already feel.
Second checkpoint.
Can you name the decision process? Who approves? What's the real timeline? What blocks them internally? If you can't answer these, you're proposing into fog. And proposals in fog get lost.
And the third?
Have they asked for it? Not hinted, not implied, actually asked. Can you put something together? When the prospect requests the proposal, you're not pushing, you're responding. The proposal becomes a formality, not a gamble. Now, the one line for this episode.
Let's hear it.
Don't build ladders too early.
The siege metaphor.
When you feel the urge to send that proposal, pause. Have I done the groundwork? Or am I building ladders before the conditions are set? The generals who won prepared until the outcome was almost certain, then moved.
So the line is a break.
A strategic break. Not never propose, but verify first. Check the 3 conditions. Met, send with confidence. Not met, more groundwork, 2 more tools. Ask the prospect, what would need to be true for this to be an easy yes?
You're asking them to map their own walls.
If they answer clearly, the ground is ready. If they hesitate or list things you haven't discussed, it's not. Now you know what to work on before proposing.
And the second tool?
When you feel the impulse to propose, replace it with a summary. Here's what I'm hearing so far. Does this match your understanding? A summary tests alignment without forcing a decision. It often surfaces concerns a proposal would have crashed into.
3 tools. Don't build ladders too early. What would need to be true for an easy yes? And summarize before you propose. All about patience and preparation over speed.
Let's lock them in.
Here's my takeaway. Premature proposals fail because they force decisions before the ground is ready. The prospect isn't cold, they're unprepared. More proposals don't fix that. More preparation does.
Keep going.
Sun Tzu said siege warfare is the last resort. Generals who rushed lost a third of their army and still failed. A premature proposal is a premature siege. It anchors on price and exposes your position too soon. The principle, 3 conditions before proposing. Can they articulate the problem? Do you know their process? Have they asked?
Drill zone. Come back here before your next proposal meeting. A prospect just had a great discovery call. You're excited. Your instinct says, send the proposal tonight. What do you tell yourself?
Don't build ladders too early.
Again, like you've seen what happens to the soldiers who climb too soon.
Don't build ladders too early.
Good. Now the readiness test.
What would need to be true for this to be an easy yes?
And the patience move.
Here's what I'm hearing so far. Does this match your understanding?
The sequence. Urge to propose hits. Reset. Don't build ladders too early. Test. What would need to be true for an easy yes? Replace. Summarize before you propose. Don't rush the walls. Prepare the ground until the gates open.
Reset. Test. Replace.
This week's test. Find one deal where you're about to send a proposal. Run the 3 checkpoints. Can they articulate the problem? Do you know their process? Have they asked?
And if the answer is no?
Then you just saved yourself from a premature siege. Do the groundwork first. The proposal lands harder when the timing is right.
Which tool should I try first?
Whichever matches your week. A. Don't build ladders too early. B. What would need to be true for an easy yes? Or C. Here's what I'm hearing so far. Drop your pick in the comments. I read every one.
What's next?
How good deals die before the meeting, and why the real battle is won in the preparation you do before anyone sits down. Same calm tone, one usable line.
Ancient strategy, modern sales, one usable line per episode.